Hi everyone, welcome back for another week of Women Crush Wednesday, Women Composers Wednesday. This week we're going to be talking about an absolute pioneer of British electronic music, Delia Derbyshire. Once again, I want to plug these amazing posters by music theory examples by women composers. Delia was born in May of 1937 in Coventry. In November of 1940, during the Coventry Blitz of World War II, her family moved to Preston, Lancashire, which is where her family was from. Delia's earliest musical memories actually come from this blitz. The sounds of the alarms and sirens were what first got her thinking about music, which was then reinforced throughout her life from the radio. She says that the radio was her true music education. Delia studied at Cambridge, where she had a scholarship to study math, and she got a degree in math and music. After she graduated, she had a lot of trouble finding a job because companies outright stated that they did not employ women in recording studios. Because she was unable to find work in a recording studio, Delia taught math and music to children of diplomats at the UN in Geneva. She then moved back to Coventry to teach general subjects in an elementary school, and then moved back to London, where she worked in the promotions department at Bootsy and Hawkes. Finally, in 1960, she was offered a position with the BBC, where she helped critics review classical music. Delia was said to have a sort of second sight. If a critic wanted to hear a specific section, say a trombones in some symphony, Delia was said to have been able to hold the tape up to the light and be able to see exactly where that would happen. After 2 years, she was transferred into the radiophonic workshop. Delia had applied to work there, but this was uncommon at the time. People were usually just assigned there. But nonetheless, Delia was transferred there, and she spent 11 years working in the BBC radiophonic workshop. Delia was brilliant and innovative during her time at the radiophonic workshop. She would record kind of commonplace noises like knocking on a metal lampshade or on a door, and then she would change the frequency, or she would add effects, or she would wobble the sound, and she would cut out pieces of film, tape them together, and create music out of it. What she's most commonly known for is her work with the Doctor Who theme song, which was used for the first 17 seasons of the show. The original tune was written by Ron Grainer with vague directions like cloud, swoop, random numbers indicating frequencies, and it was up to Delia to create all the sounds, stitch them together, play all the machines at the same time, and create the theme song we still know. Despite all of her hard work, and despite Ron Grainer fighting on her behalf, Delia received no credit for the Doctor Who theme, but it did establish her as a leading electronic music composer. What Delia loved about what she did is it felt so personal, so human, so musical. But in 1973, after 11 years at the radiophonic workshop, she felt that electronic music was becoming too commercial, too scripted, too impersonal, so she left. She worked in art galleries and bookstores, but she didn't really do much more with electronic music until the late 90s, when she felt that electronic music was once again becoming music, personal and beautiful. She started to create a little more, but we don't have much from that period because she died in 2001. Delia Derbyshire left us almost 300 reel-to-reel tapes and boxes of 1,000 papers, in addition to all the work she created and the techniques she developed in all of her innovation in electronic music. She also created some of the first purely electronic dance music. Delia worked with or influenced a lot of musicians, including Paul McCartney, Yoko Ono, Guy Wolfenden, Aphex, Chemical Brothers, so many. She did so much. There are music curriculums that involve music, electronic music classes or electronic composition courses that don't even mention Delia's name, let alone all the work she did, everything she's done. Musicians everywhere deserve to be learning about Delia, and any course that doesn't involve her needs to change what they do. I'm including several links for great resources. Luckily, unlike a lot of the other composers that we've talked about in this series, we have recordings of Delia talking about what she does and videos with her and so many resources to learn more about her life and her work. So I hope you'll check some of them out, and I hope you'll talk to more musicians about getting people to really study the incredible work of Delia Derbyshire. Thanks for joining in, and I'll see you next week for another round of Women Crush Wednesday, Women Composers Wednesday.
Forget about this. This is for interest only. Okay, coming up.